This is Bandit at BikerNet Studios, and we're here with Commander Edge, the boss of the horse smokeout, and this is the 12th year of the smokeout, and we're on the long road to the smokeout from New Orleans all the way to Rockingham, North Dakota. So North Dakota, how's that? North Carolina. So how you doing, Edge?
I'm doing great. This is the lull before the storm. It's the last day before the smokeout kicks off and the organized chaos ensues.
Well, tell us a little bit about the long road, a little history and sort of where we're at today.
Well, the long road's kind of all about the culture. The gypsies used to have a word, lungodrome, and it meant long road, and it was a metaphor for life for them. They would travel from place to place, and they would talk about the long road being, you know, births and deaths, and people coming and staying with the caravan for a while and moving off. And I always thought the chopper culture needed that. So when we had a West and East Coast event, we combined them with a ride, and we've just kept the ride up, even though we've decided there can be only one smokeout. That's a Highlander reference, if anybody's seen the Highlander. Great movie, but it's really old. Anyway.
Well, the long road, yeah, like you say, this is the culture. I mean, this is the whole thing about motorcycling is riding, you know. And so you've created a long distance ride to the smokeout event. And so how do you see the future of the long road? I know that you said yesterday that it's really up to the guys who do it.
Absolutely. You know, we know choppers are viable cross-country vehicles, and we've proven that. But whether or not we continue to do it every year to the smokeout or not is really dependent on the guys that are on it and the people out there watching us, whether they watching this right now today, whether they sign up and do it or they don't. You know, either way, we're going to have a gathering place for the chopper culture at the smokeout. Hopefully we'll have this ride to it for years to come. But you know, ultimately we want to have sort of like a gathering once a year at the smokeout, like the mountain men came out of the mountains to trade goods in the spring, kind of like a rendezvous. We want the smokeout to be the gathering of the people that have worked on their bikes all winter, and the summer's here, and they're, you know, making their way to the event, and you can see, you know, the bikes that your friends have made over the winter, and you can see if you got a project coming up, all the vendors are represented that make frames and oil tanks and everything. You can hold it in your hands and see it's just not on the internet. And we want it to have just great entertainment in one place for the whole chopper culture to come together, regardless of, you know, whether you're a BikerNet fan or you know, another magazine other than the horse, or I mean, everybody is welcome. We want everybody under one tent. If it's chopper, we want them there. Whether it's metric, you know, of course we cover metric too, but everything under for the home builder.
Well, you got to ride part of the long road, and you got to ride on on this Highboy from Victory. What did you think of it?
The Highball is an awesome bike. It's really, really smooth. It's got a lot of power. Of course, I got, you know, Jeff was telling me it's got a lot of power. So, you know, he hands me the keys. We really didn't talk. I jump on the bike, find the starter button, we take off. I get on the highway, and I'm passing a few cars, but I don't think I'm going that fast. And I look down and doing 120. I'm like, holy crap. And then I'm like, so I slow down to like 100, and I'm like, now it just doesn't seem like I'm going that fast. And then I realized, like, it's in kilometers per hour, not miles per hour. So it's really fast, but it's not quite that fast, where I was doing 120 when I first got on. But it is really nimble, and it's extremely light. It just seems like really like a light bike, especially, you know, for 106 cubic inches and everything.
Yeah, 106 cubic inches. In the future, do you see younger guys coming on the long road? Or is there a way to reach out to a younger set?
Well, first part of that is, can we get younger girls to come on the long road? I mean, that's really where we want to head. But actually, we did have a few younger women, and we've got a good number of younger men. I think we really, the horse has always been the younger generation, and the smokeout has always been the younger generation of the bike builders. You know, obviously a bike like this is, you know, an Arlen Ness influence, kind of more of the Keith Ball generation of, you know, all those guys, Ron Sims and, you know, the whole Arlen Ness and everything. And I think that, you know, Indian Larry and Billy and all those guys kind of brought in a younger crowd, and I think we're still on that track. And you do see a reflection of, you know, the guys from Violent Choppers and all the builders that we had in the chop off this year on the long road. They're all quite a bit younger guys and everything. But
so today you head to the smokeout, right? You head to Rockingham and for setup.
I will. I'll shoot up there. Some of the other lads are headed over to Charleston, South Carolina, and American Biker is putting out a spread of food, and they've got these four-wheelers, and they've got a woods behind their shop, and they just blaze around on those four-wheelers at like 400 miles an hour. And I mean, literally, the guy took me for a ride, and we hit a jump, and we were like airborne. And it's a blast. So if you guys get over, they'll take you out in the four-wheelers and everything. But they got all kind of stuff laid out at American Biker, and then you can go downtown to Charleston, which is just one of the most beautiful cities on earth, and get a Guinness and watch the ocean. And then those guys are going to head up to the smokeout tonight. But some of the guys on the long road, you have 5 stops. You got to hit 4 of the 5. So some of the guys already hit 4 stops and are just headed up to Rockingham.
And then you get a medallion, right, when you get to the smokeout, if you've hit all the stops?
Right. If this is the first time that you've done it, we only award them 1 time, and they're serial numbered. We had a silversmith make a medallion. It's actually an ounce of silver in every medallion, and it's like, you know, refined silver. It's like the silver is like worth more than the registration fee now, and they're serial numbered, and then you get the medallion, and we keep a list on the internet for as long as we're doing this. You can look back and you can see number 375 was, you know, Keith Ball, and Keith Ball did the long road. You know, I think it's a great way for shops too to really prove that they're not full of crap. Everybody can get on the internet and talk smack. It's one thing to talk smack on the internet. It's another thing to have your ass on a rigid and go day after day to get somewhere on a bike that you completed 4 weeks ago.
Right.
That is an accomplishment. And you see these guys, they're professional mechanics, and they're working out bugs even on the road because they're just finishing up this bike, and you're jumping on doing 300 miles a day or around that, and it really says something about whether this crap really works or you're just woofing, you know, horse crap.
Yeah, yeah. We've seen a lot of that on the long road this time.
Well, yeah, there's always people working out their bugs. I think the horse shit you really see are the people that are talking smack and then don't show up. The ones that show up and are on the long road, they're made their statement.
Yeah. Well, Edge, we're going to see you at the smokeout tomorrow, right?
Yes.
And we're looking forward to it, and we'll I'm sure we'll get a report from the actual Rockingham stage. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
You bet, babe.